Hello students, let us start the topic of binomial distribution. So let us consider an example of coin toss. If we toss a coin and observe the probable outcomes, in a first trial we get a head, in a second trial we get a head too, in a third trial we get a tail, and we continue this experiment for n number of trials. Okay, and let us denote the head outcome as success and tail outcome as failure in a single trial. So what is the probability of success or the probability of head in a single trial? We can denote it by P, and the probability of tail or the probability of failure in a single trial we can denote it by Q. So Q would be 1 minus P. Since there are two probable outcomes and if the probability of head is P, so probability of tail would be 1 minus P. Okay, so if we get X success in n trials, so the number of success in n trials would be X and the number of failures in n trials would be n minus X. Okay, so what is the probability of getting X head in n trials? This probability can be obtained by binomial distribution. Okay, so Px would be NCX P to power X multiplied by Q power n minus X. Okay, this is the probability of getting X heads in n trials. Okay, let us start with the assumptions of the binomial distribution. Okay, so the experiment involves n identical trials. As we have seen, we have taken the example of coin toss. Okay, where the experiment involves n identical trials. Okay, each trial has only two outcomes denoted as success or failure. This we have also seen that each outcome of the binomial distribution can be categorized as either success or failure. Okay, and the terms P and Q remain constant throughout the experiment, where P is the probability of getting a success on any one trial and Q is the probability of getting a failure on any one trial. Okay, so what is the probability of getting X success in n trials? This probability can be modeled by the formula of binomial distribution. Okay, where n is the number of trials, X is the number of success desired. P is the probability of getting a success in one trial and Q is the probability of getting a failure in one trial. Okay, so let us understand this with the help of an example. A survey found that 65% of all financial customers were satisfied with their financial institution. Suppose that 32 financial customers were sampled, and given that survey results hold true, what is the probability that exactly 21 are satisfied with their financial institution? Okay, so now here, what is the probability of getting a success in a single trial? Success means whether the financial customers sampled are satisfied with their financial institution. Okay, so if we have collected 100 financial customers, we have found out that the 65 of them are satisfied with their financial institution. Okay, so the probability of getting a financial customer satisfied with their financial institution is 0.65. Okay, and we have sampled 32 financial customers. Okay, so this n is equal to 32. Now we have to calculate the probability that 21 customers are satisfied with their financial institution. Okay, so X would be 21. Okay, we can also write Q as 1 minus 0.65. That comes out to be 0.35. Okay, so the probability from the binomial distribution can be written as, so this is the probability formula. Okay, so now the probability that 21 customers are satisfied with their financial institution, we just have to put the values into the probability equation, okay, and solve it, then it would come out to be 14.7%. okay, so there is a 14.7% probability that exactly 21 are satisfied with their financial institution. Okay, let us discuss about the mean of a binomial distribution. Okay, so mean is denoted as mu and is given by the formula n times p, where n is the number of trials and p is the probability of success in a single trial. Okay, so what is the significance of mean? See, mean is if n items are sampled over and over for a long time, and if p is the probability of getting a success on one trial, the average number of success per sample is expected to be n times p. Now, let us understand this with the help of an example. Okay, again we have adopted the same example but of different nature. Okay, a survey found that 65% of all financial customers were satisfied with their financial institution. Suppose that 32 financial customers are sampled, and given that survey result holds true, what is the expected number of customers who feel satisfied with the financial institution? Okay, so remember, in the last example we have calculated the probability of 21 customers being satisfied with the financial institution. Here we are calculating the expected number of customers who are satisfied with the financial institution. Okay, going by the definition of mean, what we are going to do, we are taking 32 samples again and again. Okay, and we know that the probability of success is the customer being satisfied is 0.65. Now coming back to the definition, if n items are sampled, so in the case n is 32 and p is the probability of getting a success on one trial, so p would be 0.65. okay, so now the expected number of customers who feel satisfied can be given out by the formula, that is n times p, which would come out to be 20.8. so we can say that the 20.8 number of customers feel satisfied with their financial institution. Now let us see the standard deviation of a binomial distribution. So the standard deviation of a binomial distribution can be given out by the formula, that is root over n times p times q, which is shown over here.